So today I'm going to show you how to get this look. It's a talk through tutorial, perfect for Valentine's Day, glitter, really smoky, really glam. So first off, I'm going in with this light shade from Tarte called Bold, and I'm just popping that through my crease. We're going to work backwards and forwards in windscreen wiper motions, and then we're going to change that and do circular motions up to the brow bone. This is just going to blend everything out, making sure that there's no harsh lines whatsoever, and that everything we go in with afterwards is going to blend smoothly. For me, this colour is an essential for every eye look I go in with. I feel a lot more confident once I go in with this to build up my colour, just because then I've got down a good canvas to guide me. So I go in with this with every eye look that I do. Next, I'm going in here with Mocha. This is actually a blusher by MAC. I couldn't find an eyeshadow with the exact colour that I was looking for. I wanted something quite mauvey pink. So I decided to go in with this blusher, and I think using blushers as eyeshadows is actually a really good alternative. So I'm just taking that colour through my crease in the exact same way that we did with the previous colour, except with this shade I'm keeping it slightly lower to start off with, and then once the majority of the product is off my brush, I'm bringing it up towards my brow bone. This is just going to give you a really smooth blend, and then again just going back and forth with that colour, building it to the intensity that I want it to be at before I move on to my darker colours. I've gone in with the Modern Renaissance palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills, and I'm taking shade Red Ochre. Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadows, this is my first time ever trying them, and I am really impressed. There is minimum fallout, and the pigmentation of these eyeshadows are absolutely incredible. So when I'm working with darker colours, I like to take minimum product on my brush and buff it through the crease quite low, and then when I can see the majority of the product leaving my brush, that's when I begin to take it higher up into the brow bone. I feel like when you work with smaller bits of product and build it up, you have more control over the colour and where you're placing it, where when you go in with like a big blob of red and just shove it into your crease, that's when you start to get a wee bit panicked and go, oh god, how am I going to blend this out, and then you end up taking all the eye makeup off. Whereas when you take it slower and less product on your brush, you have a lot more control and you feel a lot more confident with your blending techniques. I'm now going in with the shade Love Letter from the same palette, and I'm just building this up in the exact same way that we did with Red Ochre. This colour is really beautiful, and these two colours together are beautiful as well. I would never have really thought to mix pinks and burnt oranges and red tones together, because you automatically think that they're all going to clash. But on eye looks, I think it's perfect, and it blends together really well, giving you a really smooth transition before you go in with your glitter and your pigments. So every time I go in with a darker colour, I then go in with the previous colour that we used on my big crease brush. This is a Zoeva Luxe crease brush, I think. I'll leave it all down below anyway, but this brush is perfect. I saw this eyeshadow and this is what made me want to do this eye look. It's so red, but it's got like a really pink undertone to it, so it was perfect for this, and I just took that on a really tiny crease brush and again went back in with my bigger brush to blend everything together. When you are working with intense colours, you have to go in after each stage with your crease brush to make sure everything is melting together really well, or it can look quite choppy. Now I'm going in with Prolong Wear Concealer. Any concealer would work for this. I use either this one or a Rimmel London concealer. I'll leave the name of it down below, and I think both of those work really well. And what you want to do is you just want to carve out your crease. So because I've got quite a deep crease in my eye, I do find this a bit difficult sometimes, but I think this brush really helps. It's a 242. by MAC, and because it's synthetic and flat, I just feel like I'm able to have a lot of control with the brush and my concealer so that I don't make a mess of my eye makeup. And then again, just doing the exact same thing on the other eye, just carving out the crease with the concealer to give me a really bare canvas before going with my glitter. I'm now going in with glitter glue. This is really good if you're going in with glitter and harsh pigments. I've never had any complaints from clients that this has made their glitter fall on their face, and me myself, I've never had that problem. And then I'm taking the MAC red glitter from the Christmas collection and I'm placing that all over my eye with the exact same brush that we used for the concealer. This glitter turned out absolutely beautiful, but the only thing I will say is don't go in with too much of it at first because it is quite chunky and I found it a bit hard to work with until I was able to manipulate it about when the glue started to dry in. But overall, it's a really gorgeous red glitter. I'm then taking a makeup remover wipe and I'm just sweeping up that fallout and bringing it up in an angle shape towards my temple, and then going in with a blending brush and I'm just going to soften out those harsh lines that were created with the makeup wipe. Still keeping it really intense, just want to soften up the edge of it a wee bit. I am also going to add a winged eyeliner onto this look, but I'm going to do it off camera as winged eyeliner is hard enough without having to do it with one hand and a mirror in the other. Then going in with the Step 1 Radiance Primer by Makeup Forever, and I'm just putting that all over my face. This is really good for people with dry skin, as I have extremely dry skin and I find it works really well for me. And then I'm going in with the Tarte Marine Boosting Mist. Yeah, this is really nice before foundation. It really hydrates your skin, especially if you're really dehydrated and dry like I am. And then I am going in with Studio Fix Foundation. So I am shade NC15 usually, but because I was in Florida on holiday and I have a wee bit of a tan, I mixed in a wee bit of NC20 as well. And I'm just buffing that all over the skin with my Zoeva Hero foundation brush. I'm not sure the name of it. I'm not really sure the name of anything in this video, but I will leave everything down below. And I'm just buffing that all over my skin, but leaving out my under eyes. I don't really like foundation under my under eyes. And then I'm taking a smaller concealer brush and I'm just carving out my brows with that exact same foundation, just making sure we haven't left any gaps between the eyebrows and the foundation so there's no skin peeking through. I'm then going in with the Naked Skin Concealer by Urban Decay. And I am taking this in a triangle, so I like to start at my inner tear duct, bring it down to my nose, then bring it up to my eyebrow and fill it in a triangle shape, and then placing that on the other side also, a wee bit in the chin, a wee bit down your nose and a wee bit in the forehead. I don't really contour my nose, I just like a wee bit of concealer being there just so that it blends in really nicely with the under eye highlight. And then I'm taking my Real Techniques beauty sponge and I'm just buffing all that out. I did go in with a brush originally, but the brush works way better with prolonged wear than it does with this concealer, so I just decided to go in with my sponge. Then going in with Laura Mercier translucent powder and that exact same beauty sponge, and I'm just gonna bake my under eyes. So I have really creasy under eyes, so I find this technique works really well for me, and I leave it on there just until I finish the rest of my eye makeup. But I do find that my concealer lasts me a lot longer doing it this way. And then I just take the rest of that powder that's already on my sponge and dumping it over my T-zone area. I'm then taking Mineralized Skin Finish by MAC in Light Plus and just dusting that over the rest of my face. Just take a really light layer of this powder and dust it on the skin before going in with my bronzer. I'm then just taking Black Eye Kohl, this is Feline by MAC, but anyone would do, and I'm just running that through my waterline, and then going in with a dark purple colour from the Tarteist Pro palette, and I'm smoking out that lash line. Now, I like my under eyes to be quite heavy, and I also like it to be brought down quite low, so I do bring this purple shade down quite low, but if you're not into that, then just keep it really close to your eyelash line, and then use your other colours to bring it down a wee bit lower. But yeah, I like mine really intense. So then I'm going in with Love Letter again from the Anastasia Beverly Hills palette on the exact same brush, and just putting that slightly lower than when we've finished with the purple shade. I then just go back and forth between that purple and that pink shade just to build up the intensity that I'm wanting, and then go in with a slightly fluffier brush in the same pink shade just to soften it out a wee bit, because I don't want to be left with a big pink line underneath my eyes, but I do want it to be quite intense, just I want it to blend into the skin. I'm then going in with Million Lashes Mascara by L'Oreal, and I'm just coating my eyelashes because I am going to go in with false ones. I'm then going to go in with Give Me Sun Bronzer by MAC on a big fluffy bronzer brush. And I'm just going to dust that all over my face. So I just like an overall bronze. I don't really go for like the outskirts of my face. I just like my face overall to be quite bronzy. And then I like to go in with darker contour colours to really shade in the shadows on my face. Going in with Mocha, the same blusher that we actually used on our eyes, and I'm just taking that on a blusher brush and I am sweeping that backwards into my contour. So I like to place it on the apples of my cheeks and then brush it backwards into the contour. I think that's what gives you the most natural finish. And then going in with Jaclyn Hill Champagne Pop by Becca, my favourite highlighter in the world. I basically use this on every single makeup look. I do like other highlighters, but I just think the Becca highlighters are the best formula and the best outcome. They are absolutely amazing. So I just take that on my cheekbones, above the eyebrow, a wee bit in the nose, and a wee touch on the chin and the middle of the forehead, just to give me an overall glow, as I do like to be quite glowy. Then I'm going in with Morning Coffee lip liner from MAC, and I'm just going to overline my lips. So this was a bit blunt, so I did end up having to go and sharpen it because I was not able to get the shape that I was looking for. I'm then going in with Sin lipstick because it's a really vampy colour, and I thought it was perfect with this red, pink, glittery, smoky eye, and blending that out with my lip liner. Then going in with a highlighting shade from Anastasia Beverly Hills Renaissance palette, and I'm just placing that on the top of my brow bone, just to give the brow bone a wee bit of a lift and bring the whole eye look together. I really do think brow bone highlight brings everything together. I basically do it on every single eye look. It just makes everything look more polished. I did also put on a pair of eyelashes. These are from Velour. They're called Fluff and Thick, and they're really, really dramatic. And then going in with Fix Plus, and I'm just giving my face a couple of sprays of that to set the makeup into place. So that is the final look. If you enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and I hope to see you in my next video.